What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to the Nintendo Switch and big RPG news today. We've got a lot of great information to go over, but before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. And we're starting off with, you guessed it, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. If you couldn't tell or if you're someone new, I kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles just a bit, but I want to make sure that I get all the information out to you guys so you're not overwhelmed by the time that the game does come out, because there is a lot to go over. So let's go ahead and go over one of the main characters, which we've talked about before on the channel, and that is probably the main protagonist of the game, even though there's dual protagonists, but Noah. So each class has its own unique arts. Noah's class, Sword Fighter, is an attacker with strong offensive capabilities. It has overall balanced abilities, and it is good at fighting bosses and unique monsters. Do your best to avoid being targeted by the enemy and deal damage. Now, the interesting thing about this game, which no other Xenoblade game has for the most part, is that any character can employ any class, which does change their outfit, but I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to tinker around with different things, but it also changes their abilities. So Noah's default class is the attacker class, but each class has its own unique arts as well within that. So it kind of harkens back to the Xenoblade Chronicles 1 type of gameplay, but then I also see a little bit of X because you can go to different classes in that. Then there's also a little bit of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and a little bit of Torn, a little bit of everything kind of all mixed into there, and I love this. I really like what they're doing here with the classes and the abilities and the unique arts. I really love how this is probably going to play a big factor into defeating some of the super bosses in the game and some of the tougher things if they have like different extra side quests that you can do that are super tough, or like an arena type battling style like they had in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I love stuff like this, so it's very good that Monolith Soft is kind of talking about the different classes in the game and kind of what they excel in as we lead up into Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, I do want to go over another piece of, not necessarily news here, but it's just more on Noah himself, who he is as a character, because for those who don't know, there's always a lot of discussion about Xenoblade Chronicles protagonists. Some people are angry, some people are happy, some people say this person sucks, that person says this person's that good, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's been like a whole thing. It's like a whole separate thing online outside of just the Xenoblade Chronicles games. It's like the protagonists I like, I dislike, I blah, 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 right? So let's get to know Noah a bit more. So in this new clip showing off, or it's kind of like the beginning clip that we saw at the original debut trailer, Noah mourns the soldiers who have fallen in battle. His experiences in life have made him extremely empathetic, sometimes even towards the enemy. Despite this, he is a well-trusted leader by his peers. So right off the back, that reminds me of a number of other Xenoblade Chronicles male protagonists. So Shulk can definitely be that way. No spoilers, but Shulk can definitely be that way. Also, Rex can be that way as well at times. So it kind of fits right in line with Shulk and Rex, and even Adam to a little bit of a degree there. So I do feel that he kind of falls right in line with that. However, his experiences and what he's been through, especially since he was a child soldier, which is very different from Shulk's upbringing and very different from Rex's upbringing. He was a child soldier. We saw that original clip of him when he meets Ethel, or when Ethel comes and saves him. He seems very small, like in like the single digits or maybe tweens type of age. So I think that he's always been alone from the very beginning, and it's always been tough for him because he's been a child soldier. So I do feel that this is going to be a very interesting thing to see how Noah's story plays out, and I'm very excited to see all the backstories and the stories within each character, because Xenoblade Chronicles has some of the best character development ever in RPG games. Like, when you first see a character, you think one thing, but then when you get to know that character and their backstory and what happened to them, it's just amazing. It's absolutely incredible. Some of the ones that I love the most are Nia, who's also part of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think that Melia, for example, her backstory is very, very interesting, so you kind of see how she gets her edge and everything. And there's multiple other characters as well. I can go on and on this topic. So I love the fact that they're actually talking more about each character and who they are and what they stand for and some of their tendencies, because that is a key factor into the story and the progression and the development of a Xenoblade Chronicles narrative. So love that. So what do you guys think of the different Xenoblade Chronicles information that we went over here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. We've got a ton of new information on Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. And honestly, guys, this is probably the most I've been excited, I guess, since Pokemon Legends Arceus. But I think I might be just a bit more excited for this Pokemon game over Legends Arceus, because we're getting information, because the information that's coming out is absolutely incredible. And the thing that I love about this, some of you guys have already heard if you watched my video from yesterday or my reaction, and also the information, it is a full open world Pokemon game with co-op. Whoa. Just like, wait, hold up a minute. Yes, all of that is absolutely true. First time ever for the Pokemon series. Let's get into these details here, and also something that's going to set your ears ablaze. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. So the world of Pokemon has evolved. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet offer an open world experience that only the Pokemon series can deliver, one welcoming even to newcomers to the series. You can experience a new style of adventure with a world that you're free to explore at your leisure and not in an order dictated by the story. Let's repeat that real quick, because this is information that we have to know. Free to explore at your leisure and not in an order dictated by the story. That structural change, along with the open world, is two massive improvements to the Pokemon formula, because I've always felt that I should be able to go where I want to in a Pokemon game, play what I want to play in a Pokemon game. So I'm so happy that is the case here. So you can just do things at your leisure, not dictated by the story. So that is awesome. Now, you will, of course, journey to hone your skills as a Pokemon trainer, but many more discoveries and stories await you. Meet a variety of people and Pokemon and adventure in the world of Pokemon the way you want to. So I do love that. Now let's go ahead and get into more of the deeper gameplay experience with multiplayer, because this is another huge thing for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet will allow multiplayer gameplay with up to 4 players. Along with series staples such as trading and battling Pokemon, you will be able to explore the various locations of the region in these games with other players. You can discover new Pokemon and explore unfamiliar areas with your friends and family, opening the door to an adventure more precious and fun than ever. So there's an interesting bit here that I kind of want to break down. It says friends and family. So will that allow you to have co-op on a single system? That would be really good. There's been co-op before in Pokemon games. Pokemon Let's Go has them, but in a single or traditional style Pokemon game, to have co-op to where somebody else can just play from there, we're gonna have to wait and see. They didn't confirm that just yet. They might have to have, okay, you have to have like a separate game, and then you can play from there. But if it was single console co-op play, that would be pretty cool and would be kind of interesting to see how they do that. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But we know for a fact that there is online multiplayer up to 4 players, and to where you can just explore. You can just go into the game and you can just run around and you can fight Pokemon and you can catch Pokemon and you can trade and battle at your leisure as well, which is a huge change for the multiplayer experience for the Pokemon company. So this is something that I'm very excited about, these 2 features. Now, I talked about this in my reaction trailer. There's still, at least not from the trailer here, there's still no voice acting, but if there was voice acting, I think they would have said something about voice acting. So that's definitely a negative, that there isn't voice acting, even if it's just for the scripted cutscenes that are going to be in the game. Like, that would have been appreciated, but unfortunately that's not in there. Also, another thing, while the graphics do look better, I do commend them for getting better. Obviously, things could be a bit better in that respect when it comes to the open world. They are learning, though. They are getting bit by bit better. Still not necessarily like the big jump that we've seen other games make, but it's still a jump there. But obviously, graphics could be a bit better. But so far, based on what I'm seeing, especially with the character models, there is a big improvement to character models, especially over Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. And even if you compare those two games, it's definitely better. If you compare it to Pokemon Legends Arceus, it's definitely better than that game as well. So this is a game that I feel is only going to get better as we see more of the game and we get more information on it. But as a big RPG fan myself, this is exciting. And as someone who's been playing Pokemon literally since day one, when Pokemon Red and Blue first came out, I remember playing it back then, right as it launched. I've been playing Pokemon for decades now at this point. This is definitely exciting. Once again, I was the most excited for a Pokemon game since like Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's been a while, but then now we have this kind of like back to back. So I'm very excited to kind of get into this, and I'm very intrigued with the single player campaign and how the multiplayer works. And of course, getting a bit more information with those two aspects or with those things as we go along in the year. Now, we also have a confirmed release date as well, November 18th. We also have the confirmed legendary Pokemon that you guys have seen at this point, so that's awesome as well. Plus new Pokemon. I'll have links for you guys if you want to read up on all the different new Pokemon and all of that. It's all linked in the description, and also the new legendaries as well. But November 18th, 2022, it's dropping, and there also are pre-orders available right now. Plus, there is also a double pack confirmed as well. So pretty much what we would expect when it comes to the release date and when it comes to some of the different stuff that they're talking about here. I also want to point out, guys, that Toby Fox has confirmed that he will be doing some music in the game. What are your thoughts when it comes to Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet? Does this get you excited, or were you let down a little bit? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic here, guys. Sonic Frontiers. 7 minutes of brand new gameplay. I'm going to give you guys my first impressions of what we are seeing right now at this point, because it's very interesting to say the least. So this is the high velocity open zone freedom. So Sega has released the world premiere gameplay video for Sonic Frontiers, featuring 7 minutes of footage as part of IGN's month-long of exclusive coverage on the game. Now, Sonic Frontiers is due out for a plethora of systems: the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox Series S, X, and also Xbox One, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. And I've heard quite a number of people, after you're seeing this gameplay, say, well, how's the Switch version going to run? Oh, I'm worried, I'm concerned. And I'm thinking, we are getting way ahead of ourselves. What I see with this gameplay is a game that definitely is trying to borrow so many elements from so many other games. It feels a little bit unnatural to the Sonic universe. Sonic doesn't run around in a huge open world, in my opinion. I don't ever recall me wanting to do that with Sonic. So Sonic running around in an open world, solving puzzles like Breath of the Wild, and doing these little things to where you can collect different power-ups or different stuff to maybe increase your level, or whatever the case is, those little things that you collect after solving a puzzle or getting to like a tower or doing some stuff. It just seems awkward and a little bit forced from what I'm seeing here in this open-ended zone. Now, this is probably earlier footage. This is probably not complete gameplay, but at the same time, the game is coming out at the end of this year and they're showing us the game. So I'm just going to evaluate it from there. And from what I'm seeing here is I see a big, huge, empty open world where Sonic is just running around and kind of doing some of the stuff from the Sonic games and just doing them. Now, we don't have a narrative. We don't have a reason why exactly. I'm pretty sure there's some information out there, but there really isn't anything outside of Sonic's just in this place, right? And I think that they talked about that, like, hey, you're going to find out why he's there and everything. And I'm sure there's a narrative that comes together. But as I was watching this whole thing, it just felt awkward. It just felt a little bit awkward. It felt like it might or could be jank at this point, just because we haven't played it. I'm just speculating, but there's just something that's a bit off on what they showed us here. Now, the game, when it comes to the looks of it and the presentation, graphically, it looks good. And I think that's where some people have their concerns about the Nintendo Switch version of the game. But why are we concerned about the Nintendo Switch version of the game when this game just might not be good at all? And that's my kind of argument to that I've seen people put on Twitter and on, you know, different social media, is that, oh, I'm concerned. It's like, well, wait a minute. We don't even know if the game's going to be good. I think that we should wait and see if the game is going to be good before we start talking about, you know, switch this and switch that and all of it. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. And based off of this gameplay, it looks like it's a good first start, but maybe this is something that I would have thought we would have seen last year, not, you know, a number of months before the game is probably going to launch, probably a November game or somewhere close. Like, it's not that far away. So I thought we would have seen this type of gameplay last year. So the fact that they're showing it now at this point, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say that they're behind, but it just doesn't seem fully fleshed out, even from this open-ended zone, right? They didn't show us combat, and that's okay. Clearly, the original or the teaser trailer had some combat in there, you know, where Sonic was punching and kicking stuff. But this one was just going to show like, hey, this is like the puzzle stuff, this is the open world stuff. And like I said, graphically it looks great, but gameplay wise, I'm not convinced right now at this point, because they have not put together a comprehensive look from these high velocity zones or open-ended zones and how combat tangles in and how the story tangles into everything. It just seems like someone took an open world game and modded Sonic in there with some stuff to do, which I guess sounds a little bit bad. I mean, and I'm not saying that the game is going to be bad. I'm just saying that it does not look quite like it's a Sonic game they wanted to make and make it like a Sonic game. It looks like they said, okay, well, Breath of the Wild is popular, open world games are popular, this is popular, Horizon's popular, so let's put Sonic in that and let's see what happens, right? Or if somebody Unreal Engine 4, Unreal Engine 5 modified, you know, one of these games. So that's just kind of how I feel right now. Once again, I don't think that this game is going to be terrible to the point where it's like Sonic 06. I don't think that this game is going to be so bad to where everyone just hates it. I think that it has a very good chance of being better than a lot of the recent new 3D Sonic games from the 6th, 7th generation and up. So I do think that it has a chance of being better than those. But once again, the bar isn't too high, and I do not want to fall into the Sonic cycle, because that's what happens. We always say, hey, this looks better than before. This looks better than the before, and then we get the game and it's unfortunately not better than before. When it comes to 3D Sonic games, now the 2D games, they've been doing the thing. Sonic Mania is really good, like I get that, but when it comes to 3D Sonic, the Sonic cycle is definitely still active, and I just want to wait and see a bit more and how it all ties in together. But those are my thoughts when it comes to Sonic Frontiers and also Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Xenoblade Chronicles. Man, there's so much to talk about, not enough time. What do you guys think about all of this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're someone new. Click that notification bell, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.